Welcome to Your Sleep Coach, the podcast dedicated to helping you reclaim your nights so you can live your best days. I'm your host, Devin Burke, best-selling author, TEDx speaker, and the founder of Sleep Science Academy. I help exhausted insomniacs fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up energized using proven science-backed strategies and holistic coaching methods. So whether you're tired of tossing and turning or looking to optimize your rest for better health, you are in the right place. So each episode, we're going to dive into expert insights, practical tips, and real-life success stories to help you sleep deeply to live fully. No pills, no gimmicks, just the tools you need to create the sleep you deserve. So get ready to say goodbye to sleepless nights and hello to more peaceful, powerful, and present you. Let's dive in. In today's episode, I'm excited to introduce you to one of our amazing sleep coaches, Emily. Our coaches are the driving force behind the transformational results we help our clients achieve. In this conversation, you're going to get to know Emily, her story, her passion for helping others sleep better, and gain some wisdom and advice to help you on your sleep journey. Let's dive in. Emily, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today on Your Sleep Coach. I'm excited to have this conversation with you. We're going to dive right in. So can you tell us a little bit about the journey that has led you up into this point of helping thousands of people sleep at Sleep Science Academy? Give us a little background.
Yeah, such a loaded question with such a long-winded answer. So I'll try to compress it into our time slot. So I've always been passionate about helping others. I went to school to be a nurse and started nursing school and started working in hospitals and realized I needed more one-on-one interaction and less paperwork and less going through doctors. And I wanted to really connect with my patients. So I ended up changing my field of study and went into health sciences. And then when I turned 31, I was diagnosed with a rare form of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And I went through a year's worth of chemotherapy, lost my hair, lost my eyebrows, lost my eyelashes. And that was such a metamorphosis for me in my life. It really brought to the surface some systems that I had in place that were broken in terms of my anxiety, really. Up until that point, I never really thought I had anxiety. And with my life really being on the line, I found myself having to live in the present. I was forced to live day to day because if I allowed my mind to go into what could be tomorrow, the next week, the next day, I would break. So that was such an incredible, valuable lesson. In this year of my life, really at the end, it almost ended my life. And I had a deeply spiritual experience at that time too, thinking I was going to say goodbye to my 3 small children and my husband. But, truly by miraculous means, I survived. And, it's been almost 10 years since then. And I have felt like I've been given a gift of more time. Coming out of that experience, I also wanted to really evaluate my own health because I had a lot of side effects in my gut and, a little bit of PTSD in my mind because of this medical trauma I went through. So I got really interested in my diet. I had always been health minded, but I could tell there was something that I was eating that was really disagreeing with me. And I was just kind of sick all the time. And I ended up going to school to get my holistic health coaching license and absolutely life-changing. Now, and then I started my own practice after that, and my focus was really on gut health. I'm very passionate about what we eat and how the gut affects the brain and that connection. But I will make a caveat that ever since I graduated from college and got my first job, I dealt with insomnia for a very long time. And it was cyclical and it would come and go, but it was always this fear in the back of my mind of what if I don't sleep? And it would come to the surface out of nowhere. And I go nights and nights and nights of no sleep before I finally regulated. But I always had, a drawer of Benadryl just in case. I had my place on the couch just in case. And I did a lot of praying and crying and what is wrong with me with this insomnia. So a couple years into my own private practice as a coach, I was approached by someone that I worked for doing some corporate wellness teachings, lunch and learn type things, all, health based. And the girl that I worked for, she contacted me and she was like, "Hey, I know this guy. He's looking for a coach. Would you be interested?" And I did some research on Devin Burke and I was like, "Hell yeah, I'm interested. Devin, like, this is awesome." So the problem was Devin's business was about sleep. And I was like, I cannot talk about sleep every day. I will literally never sleep again if I have to talk about sleep every day. Because remember, this is this big, scary thing that lives back here with the door tightly shut, and I can't talk about it. But I went through with the interview anyway. I caffeinated up and I was like, we're going to do this. And Devin was so awesome. I was like, I have to do this. This is my calling. This is the next thing. And so I started working with Devin. And to his credit, he hired me not knowing all of the baggage that I brought with me into this coaching. And so, as predicted, in my training, I got to go through the program and I fell apart. Like, this dragon that had been threatening to burn me alive was finally loose and I was on fire. And one of my first training meetings with Devin, we're coming in to talk about coaching and I'm coming in going, I'm not sleeping, I'm freaking out. And Devin would, I remember his response, your response. You were like, all right, not where I was expecting this call to go, but let's talk about it. And he was really patient with me as I worked through the program. So, as part of my training, I worked through the program for myself. And I can remember sitting at the computer going through a series of questions in the mind phase. And I was like, oh, this is me. That's me. Yes, I have that belief. Oh, I think that too. It was like Devin was inside my mind and my mind was blown. And a couple of training sessions with him later, I was having a particularly difficult time, honestly. Like, I had buried this beast so deep down. Once I finally let it out, scared the crap out of me. And I remember sitting on the floor and I was having a conversation with Devin and I was pretty composed. And he got into some coaching with me. And one of his questions prodded the answer. I said I felt like I was broken. Because here I am, I'm a health coach, I'm this health guru, I'm all about healthy living and healthy life, yet here I am, not sleeping. Something must be wrong, I must be broken. And Devin said, well, is there any proof that you have that you're not broken? And I had in that moment come back to me the experiences that I had when I was sick and how many times I had proven to myself that I wasn't broken. How many times I had been able to pull myself out of what you would think would shatter someone. And that was a huge healing moment for me, was to connect back to, oh, maybe I'm not broken. Look at this evidence that I have that I'm not broken. And from there, I started to build some trust in myself. And I went through all the steps we teach in the program. I did stimulus control, which I'm sure we'll talk about that a little more. It's a really uncomfortable practice of getting out of bed when you're not able to sleep. I'm going to tell you, it kind of sucks, but it works. And so I followed the program and I got out of bed. And another big shift for me was the first time I truly felt what it meant to accept. And again, that's one of our big pillars in the program, is practicing acceptance. And I remember laying in bed and being like, whatever happens, I'm going to be okay. And I was. And I'm on the other side of that now. It's been 5 years, and this thing that used to be so big and scary, it's really not scary anymore. So working with Devin working with you the last 5 years has been challenging and life-changing and rewarding and fulfilling, and so much I never imagined it would be. And I feel so blessed and lucky to be a part of this, and so that I can bring my story and help other people.
Well, Emily, I'm gonna stop you for a second. We have a lot to unpack there. Thank you so. Well, I mean, first and foremost, you're amazing. Anyone that gets to work with you is blessed because you truly get it. You truly get it. I mean, you've been through hell in your own, journey, and you have, something that you bring as a coach. And it's crazy. 5 years, you were actually the first coach that I hired. And I remember having that first conversation, and there was something about that conversation. I interviewed a lot of coaches, and I was just like, no, she's the one. And I was actually super scared. I'm like, oh my gosh, can someone else do? I wasn't sure. Can someone else like coach? Can I train someone else to do this? And I remember that conversation that we had when you kind of had your breakdown and then breakthrough. Like, I truly, now I'm going back in my memory. I'm like, I remember that conversation. You're sitting on the floor. You were really upset, and yeah, and you just were committed to, like, you were open, you were willing, and you were committed, and you did the work, and you put in the work, and now you get to share that with, you know, all of the people that you've already helped and the people that you're going to help. And so yeah, I mean, your story is incredible. It is. It is. And for those people that are listening to this, hopefully you can gain strength from what Emily's sharing, that you're not broken. Because it is one of the most common things that our clients, I would say almost would you say, Emily, like every client that comes to us kind of has that belief in the beginning?
Definitely. I think when we really get down to it, that's one of the common, almost always beliefs is that something is broken.
Yeah. It's like, and it makes sense, right? Because before people find us, they try all these different things like, sleep hygiene and the doctors and the functional test and the hypnosis and all these different things. And those things might give some short-term relief, but they never really get to the root of why. Why
Right.
is this natural thing not happening? And so it makes a lot of sense. So tell us a little bit. I want to dump into, what you find most rewarding about the work that you do. Like, what is it that, this is not easy. Okay. Let me just, for those of you that are not sleeping, listening to this, y'all are tough to work with sometimes. Okay. I know how I am when I don't sleep. It's like, really, we're meeting people at often their lowest point. They're desperate. They're not sleeping. Sometimes life is falling apart, and we get to come in and really take a stand, um, and meet them in their hell and really guide them through. So I would love for you to share a little bit about, what do you find is most rewarding, as being able to meet people in that place and kind of help them to the other place, where they're sleeping and they're back to normal life.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the things that makes it so rewarding is people trusting us to help them. And I cannot tell you how many people I have heard say that this program is not just about sleep, it's about life. And helping people work through their insomnia, all of the lessons and what they learn, these tools and strategies to help with their sleep, overlap into every aspect of their lives. So not only are we getting people sleeping naturally again, but they're seeing this huge improvement in their life because of the tools that they've learned through their sleep. So what makes it so rewarding is, I know it sounds cliche, but the lives that are changed, that
Yeah.
people can come in feeling broken and bruised and damaged and leave feeling like a better version than they ever thought possible. And I've heard that's actual words.
Yeah. And what would you say, okay. Like, why is it important for someone to work with a sleep coach that understands the methodologies and the teachings and the protocol that we deliver at Sleep Science Academy? Why would you say, think about somebody that's on their own, or maybe even you before you came
Mhm.
across and worked for the company and learned these tools and now are teaching them and sharing them. Why is it important for people to work with a sleep coach?
Yeah. Well, because for me, I thought I was doing all of the right things. And even when I first meet with a new client, they'll start with, but I'm doing all the right things. I'm doing everything I should to be able to sleep. And what is so important about having a sleep coach is because we take a very personalized approach. And each of us have worked with so many clients now. It's 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 easier for us to kind of see where it is that you're getting stuck and help to pull you out of that and make you aware of it so that you can change it. Because until you can see where it is that you're getting stuck, you're just going to stay stuck. So we help you to see where that point is so that you can start to move forward, build
Yeah,
some.
it's you got a lot of picture frames right behind you. We use the analogy in coaching, right? You can't see the picture if you're in the frame. And so like that's what exactly what it is that an expert master coach does is they really give you that perspective that you need. And it's sometimes it's tough. It's tough to gain that perspective. It's often you can't gain it without somebody that's, really bringing their full presence and also has the pattern recognition that we look for. Because that's really what it is, right? When we're working with someone, it's looking for, hey, what is the underlying pattern? And not just what somebody's doing, but how they're thinking about what they're doing. And that's really the work that we get into when we're working with a client. I'd love to share for you to share, um, you know, a client story, somebody that you've worked with, and you at this point you've worked with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people, maybe even thousands at this point over the last 5 years. Um, who's somebody or yeah, share a story with us. Like who is
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
that, yeah, like what, I mean, at this point, I know it could be hard to remember because, there's a lot. But I think our the people listening to this would really appreciate maybe a story
Um,
about somebody.
I came prepared for this question, and I will admit I had such a hard time narrowing down which story to share because we have such incredible testimonials. If you've not watched our testimonials, go watch these testimonials because so many lives changed. But I wanted to talk about or share an experience with someone that I just recently graduated from the program. Can I say his name?
Yeah, yeah, maybe not the full name, but
Yeah. Okay.
yeah.
Name was Zach. So he had dealt with insomnia for 20 years and had been on prescription medication the last 5 years and truly believed he could not sleep without medication. He had trouble both falling asleep, staying asleep. And something unique to him was he had developed these nighttime panic attacks. And if he wasn't taking medication, he would jerk himself awake or wake up gasping for air 40 or 50 times a night. This had robbed him of his joy. He was anxious and depressed, felt like he was failing as a father, a husband, at his job. He had gone through various sleep studies, even genetic testing, treatment strategies, and he came to our program very skeptical. He was one of those, I have tried it all. He said when he was researching, he was like, all right, this is something I haven't tried. This is my last shot. This is my last ditch effort. So him and I started working together, and truly within a week, he saw massive changes. The panic attacks went from 5 times a night with the medication. So when he was on medication, the panic attacks were happening about 5 times a night. But within that first week, once, maybe. So one of the biggest things for Zach was the awareness around his anxiety with sleep, which he did not even see as anxiety because he thought he was doing all the right things. He thought there was just something in him that was broken. So when you start the program, one of the first things we really get into is, in my opinion, the most powerful part of the program because we really start to investigate the mind and the messages that it's sending and the stories that you're creating around your sleep. And we start to challenge that. And, kind of like I mentioned before, until you see it, you can't really change it. So for him, it was recognizing this anxiety, these thoughts that were keeping him stuck. And like you mentioned, his patterns. He was in this problem solving cycle of constantly sleep is a problem. What do I need to do to fix it? How can I fix it? Constantly researching and reading, Reddit and trying different supplements and going to different doctors. And his other thing was sleep on a pedestal. If he did not sleep, he would not be able to XYZ. If I don't sleep, I'm going to feel terrible. So there was a lot of pressure on sleep. So once he was able to see that, he was able to shift out of it. Within 3 weeks, he had already started weaning off his medication and was sleeping better than he did while he was on the medication. And at this point, this is where he stepped out of this victim mindset of what is happening to me? Why is this happening? This sucks. Into something that we really talk about is what is there for me to learn here? I'm getting to experience this because there's something here for me to learn. So that was a big shift for him, was stepping out of this place of victimhood and into ownership over his experience. By 6 weeks in, something that is very typical and even expected, and sometimes I think a really good thing, is to have a setback. So you start to see the success, and then for various reasons, you might have a setback and you get back to where you started. And this is kind of where he was at this 6 week mark, and went into, oh no, this isn't working. And I am broken. I knew it. And, just kind of coming back in with this. It's almost like a self-sabotage, going back to what he knew for 20 years, which was he was broken. He couldn't sleep. All of a sudden he starts sleeping and then he panics and comes back to, wait, no, but I don't know who I am if I'm sleeping. All I know is who I am if I'm not sleeping. So him and I were able to work through those limiting beliefs and these things that were keeping him coming back to this fear-based mindset. And this is where we can start to explore first, you are sleeping. He had weeks at this point of excellent sleep. So we can start to look at what are some other areas in your life that maybe need some more attention. Our approach to sleep is about so much more than just sleep. Like I said, this is about life. So him and I explored areas in his life that were draining him. What are areas in his life that give him energy? And so he put more attention into those things and saw that something he was really lacking was daily exercise and getting out in the sun. So that was something easy that he implemented. By 8 weeks in, when he was finishing the program, totally off of his medication, sleeping better than he ever thought possible. I'm not even kidding. I even wrote down a quote that he said was, now my sleep is amazing. I'm sleeping better than I have in 20 years. It's just incredible. And he was ready to come out and tell it to the world. He was.
Yeah. So for those of you listening to that, if you want to listen to Zach's story, you can just go ahead and go to the YouTube channel. And he shares it from his perspective. But I want to kind of unpack a little bit about what you just shared, because Zach is a perfect example of somebody that has the arc of what they realize when they come to Sleep Science Academy. And he had the rebound, right? He had the rebound, which we actually encourage in the program, people to have a rebound. We call a rebound. And for those of you listening, a rebound is when you're making some progress and then all of a sudden you have one or two or multiple nights. We call them opportunity nights, not bad nights at Sleep Science Academy. Opportunity nights, because we get to look at the night as an opportunity for what is it trying to teach us. But he had the rebound, right? Which is great. And then you also talked about something that's really unique in our philosophy is the piece, the pedestal pattern, the problem solver pattern. And we didn't really talk about the perfectionist pattern, but so he had the primary pattern, putting sleep on a pedestal and looking at it like it's a problem. And you were able to work with him through those patterns. They're helping him really understand how his mind was activating his body, and also really clearly seeing, oh, okay, I'm in this pattern and what this pattern is actually creating. But let's kind of unpack that a little bit, just because I feel like it'd be so helpful for someone to hear, because a lot of people don't even realize, right? They don't realize that when you look at sleep like it's a problem, it creates more pressure to solve it. They don't realize that they connect everything in their daytime life to sleep, and then it props it up on a pedestal. But what would you say to somebody, I guess, that's listening to this that now realizes like, oh my gosh, yeah, I am looking at sleep like it's a problem, and I absolutely am putting sleep on a pedestal like Zach was. Like, give us maybe we can talk about a little bit of insight, like to help somebody that now has the realization, having you just shared this story about someone you worked with and had amazing results for.
Yeah. So, for Zach, it was, if I don't sleep, I won't be able to perform in my job tomorrow. If I don't sleep, I'll feel terrible. It might be my brain will be foggy. I'll be slow. I won't be quick to remember things. It's going to affect my memory. A big one that I hear is this is affecting my health. if I don't sleep, then I could die. I could get cancer. So if I'm working with someone that has this belief, so first of all, we get really clear on what that story is. So in Zach's case, it was, if I don't sleep, I'm not going to be able to perform as a father and at my job tomorrow. Okay. So then we start to loosen up that belief a little bit, because when you come here, there's a lot of evidence that that's true. You've had a lot of nights of not sleeping and a lot of days of feeling terrible. So we have what's called this negativity bias. This is, part of our biological programming, and we're meant to survive. And so when something is painful or uncomfortable, we see it as a problem and we need to fix it. But the truth is, and with Zach, it's not always true. So this belief, if I don't sleep, I'm going to feel terrible tomorrow. Okay, well, Zach, is that true? Is that always true? Has there ever been a time where you didn't sleep and you were actually okay the next day, that you were able to show up in every capacity you needed to? Well, when he really thought about it, the answer is yes. And once you're able to let go of this attachment to, if I don't sleep, then something bad will happen, that can relieve that pressure. And it makes you more open to allow yourself the experience of not sleeping, because you trust, all right, tomorrow I'll be okay. I might feel terrible. I don't have to like it. But this fear that I'm going to die, not true.
Or even this is going to continue to be my experience, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of times our clients, when we work with them, they take their past experience, they bring it into the present, and then they project it into the future. And then they're like, I know what's going to happen. There's this certainty around, if I don't sleep, then I know I'm going to feel terrible. I'm not going to perform because in the past I did feel terrible and I didn't perform, right? And it's like really investigating that.
Right.
And it's yeah, so maybe let's talk a little bit about the coaching experience. A
Mm.
lot of people, they've never had a coach. Maybe they've had a coach. Let's say they played sports as a kid and they had a basketball coach or a football coach. Or so a lot of people, I think, don't really understand. Number one, they don't understand what coaching is. They
Mhm.
don't understand how powerful it can be. And they really don't understand the framework because what we do, our style of coaching is quite different than, what you'd get outside of Sleep Science Academy. So I want to talk to you about, what that experience is like. What can someone expect with a coaching session? So maybe we can just kind of unpack, like, what would that look like for a client? Let's say I'm not sleeping. What am I going to experience coming into this program and getting to work with you?
Hmm. Great question. Well, first of all, I think coaching is awesome and everyone needs a coach in every capacity of life.
I agree. I agree.
So, someone coming in, what to expect from a coaching session with me? Well, first, we're always going to start with what's working. I mentioned that negativity bias, and the truth is there's always something that's working. Whether it's, hey, I got out of bed today, or I made myself breakfast, or I looked at the sunshine for a little while. So we work together to find those celebrations and acknowledge them so that we can start to see what's working. And then we get into, what is it you're working on? So in the program, you're learning outside of our sessions. You're doing a lot of this work on your own, but there's still places where you feel like you're spinning your wheels or something's not making sense. And so I'll ask, all right, how can I support you? What's not making sense? Where do you feel like you're spinning your wheels? And they'll come back with I conceptually understand this idea of accepting that I'm not sleeping, but I absolutely cannot get there. I cannot make myself like this experience. And then we'll dig into what it would look like if you were able to let go and kind of work around how to get them to that place. So we work on the softening, and that comes with a series of questions. This is all of us as coaches, these are co-collaborative, and for me they're client-led. So I am not going to tell you what to do. Sorry. And the truth is, because you already know what to do, I just help you find the answer that you already have. Because what works for you might not work for somebody else. So I can't tell you an answer. You come up with that answer for yourself, but I help you get there.
It's so important for people to really get that, because so many people are our medical model, right? Outside of our traditional medical model is tell me what to do. Tell me what I
Mhm.
should do. And so
I'd
many
be waiting.
people, Yeah, right. It's like you've experienced it. I've experienced it. Everyone listening to it has experienced it. And so we're trained, even in our education system, for the teacher to tell us what to do. And what that does, unfortunately, is we're giving away, we're not trusting ourselves, number one, and we're giving away all of our power to outside sources. And like what coaching is, why one of the reasons coaching's so amazing is like you're taking that power back and you're realizing, oh, I actually do like you get to trust your body and yourself again. And I think
Mm,
that's such an important and beautiful part about the coaching experience that people get to really reconnect to that trust of, oh, okay, I actually am smarter and wiser than I think. I actually do have more answers than I think. And this body has such an amazing intelligence. Like it's so amazing what
yeah.
this gift
You know,
is.
and I had a client once say, I wish there was a silver bullet. I wish there was just a pill you could give me to make this all go away. And I answered her and I was like, if there was, I would not give you that pill. I would not give you the pill to make this all go away because there is so much here that you get to learn.
Yes.
And I'm on
And
the
that's
other
it.
side. So I see that. Yeah.
And that's a core philosophy at Sleep Science Academy is if you're not sleeping, all it means is there's something to learn. And
Mhm.
what we do as coaches and what you're so skilled at, Emily, is helping people understand what it is they get to learn. And that is it is a gift. And I think a lot, I love when they can actually they can view their sleep as you know, they're not sleeping as a gift. Their insomnia as a gift. Not everyone gets there.
It can be hard to get there.
It can be
Yes.
hard to get there, and you don't have to get there in order to get results. But it's so amazing when people can get to, after the 8 weeks, they look back and they're actually like grateful that they got to experience this because they would never have learned what they discovered as a result of going through this process.
Yeah.
Something that when you've worked with hundreds of clients, maybe even thousands at this point, that you see when you're working with clients that you've noticed makes like when they realize this thing, it makes a massive difference for them. But sometimes it takes a long time or it can be very challenging to get them to that realization.
That's a good question. And I can tell you the answer because this is where it was for my own experience, in my own experience. And this is, I would say without a doubt, the transitional moment for almost all of my clients. And that is when the idea of not sleeping is no longer scary. When you can get to this point of acceptance and softness and peace around it and letting go of the control, the attachment to sleep, that is when the shift happens.
Amazing. I'm so, so grateful for that answer. I mean, I hope people that are listening to this, I hope you're going to want to rewind and listen back to what Emily just said. That was like, because it's in my experience, you nailed it. Like that is for sure the point of transformation. And it can take a lot to get to that point. It can take a lot. Um, okay, so we're gonna round out this conversation. You've been so gracious with your time. So let's just a couple just personal questions. So share for those listening, what's something that maybe people don't know about you that's
Mm.
unique or fun or just I know there's several things I know, but I love what's something that's kind of fun that we like to keep things light and fun at Sleep Science Academy, but
Okay. So, all throughout my 30s, after I lost my hair to cancer, I just had a really good time with my hair. And I sported a mohawk for a while until my kids asked me to stop. I've had hair every color of the rainbow until I started doing those corporate classes. And the girl hiring me was like, "Yeah, you can't have purple hair and teach corporate classes anymore." So I've let those days go. But yeah, I had a mohawk for a while. It was pretty badass, if I'm being
I
honest.
actually didn't even know that. That is badass. And listen, if you want to go back to the Mohawk, you're totally welcome to go back to the Mohawk.
Don't
And
tempt me.
the purple Mohawk. If you want to go full on, purple Mohawk, like you're welcome to do it at Sleep Science Academy. Um, No, this has been awesome. We've learned so much from you today. I really, really, really appreciate you for how you show up, for your commitment to the people that you work with. It's you've and just the commitment to Sleep Science Academy. Again, it's like it is not easy doing this work. This work is so needed. It's so necessary, and it really takes a special person to be able to step into that place and create a safe space for someone that is struggling the way that our clients struggle. So I just want to acknowledge you for that. I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for, sharing your gifts, your wisdom, for being so committed as a coach to continue to level up and not just really one of our values that you step into so beautifully is growth over comfort.
Hmm.
And so, I just want to acknowledge you for that and just, you know, hopefully my gratitude is coming across here in this. Uh,
Well, I love it. I love it. I'm so grateful to be a part of this work. It's truly amazing.
so for those of you listening, if you like to work with Emily, if you like to work with us, reach out, schedule a consultation. We all of our coaches are amazing. And, hopefully from this conversation, you now know Emily a little bit more. You know what it's like to experience a session with her, how amazing she is. And we're here. We're here to support you. You do not have to suffer from this. This does not have to be a lifelong affliction. There is a way out. And yeah, we're here. So again, thanks, Emily. And I will look forward to seeing you in the next coaches meeting here.
All right. Thank you.
Now, if you're ready to take the next step towards better sleep and want expert guidance, my team and I are here to help. You can book a free sleep consultation to learn more about how our proven approach can work for you. All you need to do is visit sleepscienceacademy.com to get started. And if you're passionate about sleep health and you want to help others overcome their insomnia, you can also check out our sleep coach certification program, where you'll gain all the tools and the training you need to guide clients to better sleep and transform their lives. So whether you're looking to reclaim your nights or make an impact as a sleep coach, it starts with one step. That's visit sleepscienceacademy.com to learn more. Thanks again for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a review if you found this episode helpful. Sweet dreams, and I'll see you in the next one.